Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerdy Pop Culture's Nerdy Podcast. And this is episode 1. And we're going to be talking about Pokemon's 25th anniversary's showcast.
And ironically enough, today is Pokemon Day. So happy Pokemon Day, everybody.
Are you going to be watching Post Malone's video tonight?
No, fun fact, I hate Post Malone so much.
I don't know any songs from him. I'm going to watch it just so I can have an opinion on it. But that's, the least I could do.
I'm excited just because, I don't have anything with Arceus in any Pokemon games. I had a hack to get mine when I was little. So I actually have, a legit Arceus. I think that's, the best thing.
But let's start from the beginning. So, first off, they just showed, a lot of small things. I mean, they were showing, the Pokemon, all the Pokemon mobile games.
Oh, I love the recap of the 1990, when it started to now, every little thing that came out.
Oh, man, the feels for that was really nice.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, I'm old.
Oh, dude, man, I started laughing when they showed the little card swiper thing, and I was like, oh, I'm so old. I remember having all the card swipers.
Ooh, the e-reader.
Oh, yeah. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, the e-reader.
Oh, man. I wonder if I still have those cards somewhere laying around. I think I have, a binder of Pokemon cards with all those things on it.
I used to have the e-reader and play Pokemon, the card game, when I was little. So, it's the only reason I remember that.
Do you remember the original Pokemon card game on the actual, Game Boy?
Did it have, a black cartridge?
I think so.
I remember it was...
No, I don't think it... No, it had a gray cartridge. Because it had the gray cartridge with, the blue background and all the Pokemon elements across it.
It was, the first Pokemon card game?
Yeah, it was the first one.
Yeah, that's what literally taught me how to play, and it taught my dad how to play.
Yeah.
That was such a good game.
Oh, man. I deeply enjoyed, playing the living shit out of that thing. I had so much fun.
I feel like Pokemon could literally make another card game, video game.
They won't, because they have, their actual online card game.
Yeah, with everything being online now, they don't need, to make a story.
Yeah, they could honestly... They're just making bank off of that. People are going on there playing... Which you don't have to actually buy the physical cards. You can just play the thing and go on there and play, and you'll do fine as long as you don't go into competitive area.
Alright, and to the Diamond and Pearl remake, when I first saw it, not gonna lie, the first graphics I saw, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go time, and then they showed the titles, I was like, wow, I'm actually wrong, I'm shocked.
Okay, so, I was never, a huge, Diamond and Pearl fan, and, oddly enough, my favorite Pokemon's in there, though. I'm like, oh, Lucario, Riolu, favorite Pokemons, but I mean, it's there. And when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, it's really smooth. The graphics are really smooth. And, it's a remake. And it's not a remaster, it's a remake. But what I've been reading a lot of, and I have to agree with, is look at Square Enix. Square Enix remastered Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII looks phenomenal. And then you have Pokemon, who's over here, just all right.
Here's some Fisher-Price characters for you. I like the art style, but the only thing that bothers me is when, I think it was a year or two ago, when Legend of Zelda Link's the stupid Zelda game that came out for the Switch on my birthday a few years ago, literally has the same art style as Pokemon. Literally looks like a Fisher-Price character, but I understand that's supposed to be a remake, not a remaster, so they're not really working on the characters.
Someone showed that if you cel shade the characters on the remake, how well it looked. And I think it looks really nice. And I was like, man, the difference cel shading makes in it is leaps and bounds. But this goes back to when Sword and Shield first came out, and people are like, if you do this differently, your game looks 100 times better. Because with the ground issue and the trees issue and every issue, there's 500 issues. And I mean, in the end, it really doesn't matter, because people are just like, Pokemon, and they're just gonna buy it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy this game. I already have everything, all the Pokemon legendaries.
You almost have a living dex, don't you?
Yeah, so my thing is, since before Sword and Shield, I knew they were gonna make Home, so I started collecting from X and Y to Ultra Ruby and Sapphire and Black and White. So I played every single game to hoard everything in the Home, and now I have it all sitting in the Shield. So as I said, I need Arceus. And that's why I'm so hyped for that Pokemon Legends, and mostly because I have a very big theory, which I realized, and I'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get there, but it just, I don't know. Like, for anyone who is happy for the remake, which if you didn't see Cross's posts everywhere, he's super excited for
a bunch of people I went to school with who aren't like competitive in a Pokemon are super hyped because a lot of people I know, Diamond or Pearl was like the games that got them in a Pokemon, like because it'll let you do wirelessly with DSs and engaging people. And not gonna lie, that's when I became super involved in Pokemon. So
4th Gen was the first DS games, right?
yes,
Okay, because 3rd Gen was still on Advance.
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Emerald was the most pushed out one at the time.
So there's a lot of people who are just going to be super excited about that, and I think that's wonderful. But the problem is that when I see Pokemon players, I see the people who buy, Madden games. They don't want to fight. They don't want to be asked for better. But
it's pretty much it. All the man people on my Facebook are like, oh my god, Diamond and Pearl.
but I see a lot of people, and that's the problem, is that like I think finally after Sword and Shield released, people are finally like, all right, you need to start doing better. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a remake. It doesn't need to be better. It doesn't need to be the top of the line game. It doesn't need to be the best thing since sliced bread. But they should still give it some TLC. Like, it needs to be, the cell shading would have been great. They should add some cool things to it. And if I remember correctly, they said that it's going to be an exact replica of the original game. Well, while that's nice, why not add the Mega Evolutions?
Yeah, why? I don't want a cookie cutter game. I'm not gonna lie. I already
why pay
have the memories.
$60 for a cookie cutter game when you could just go to GameStop and support them so they don't disappear and be like, all right, here you go.
Actually, I have a few video games to go. Yeah, ironically enough. But on a better Pokemon game, since we were talking, we're going to talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus, because honestly, the graphics look intense. When I was watching it for the first time, the graphics were very debatable. And then I saw like better graphics, so the thing is, they took it's like a beta phase. They're just showing you like the idea of the game.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's not the actual graphics.
And the game doesn't come out until early 2022. Like, so that means it can release anywhere from January to April. So, I mean, if the game comes out and looks exactly like that and people want to rage away. Like, go at them and be like, how come this game still looks like the first trailer? I'm 100% for freaking out.
So I have a very big theory when it comes to this game. I have a theory that a lot of the Pokemon that aren't in Sword and Shield are going to be able to port into this game, because the starters are the Cyndaquil, the Oshawott, and the Rowlet.
Owlet.
Thank you. Oshawott and Cyndaquil aren't in the game, aren't in Sword and Shield. And then if you watch the trailer, you see you see the character catching a Chimchar out in the wild, and the Firestar from 5th Gen also isn't in the game. So I feel like a lot of the Pokemon that Sword and Shield forgot about are going to be in Arceus Legend, and you can literally port them all over. At least that's my theory, because of what I've noticed.
There's actually a really good theory, and it's if you watch the trailer really slowly and you get to the scene where it has your beginning starters and you look in the background, you're in a very nice modern day building. It looks like the White House.
I want to know who the professor is.
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of people think, well, that's another theory, is that one, everyone thinks that this game is a story or involves time travel.
That's what I'm hoping.
Because, like I said, you get your starter, like, in a very nice looking built building. Like, it's in a White House looking thing. Like, the background is, like, seriously modern. Then
you're like saying you're like in Tokyo, Japan, being sent back to the feudal era. That's what I heard what this game is like.
Yeah, and then, but it starts off like in a journal and you're looking through it and it's talking about the past. So I was making jokes saying it looks, I'm like, oh my god, it's Assassin's Creed, Shino style. Like,
I was literally thinking, hey, it's I'm a huge Zelda person. It's the only game I really play. So when I saw the graphics, I'm like, well, they finally made a Breath of the Wild Pokemon game. I'm proud of them.
Don't hate me, but you're the Legend of Zelda fan, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Every Legend of Zelda fan on the internet is like, oh my god, you're copying us. Like, no joke. I after we're done with this, I will go and show you the Switch posting group. It is no joke. Every Legend of Zelda fan is just taking pictures of that and be like, you're just copying the Breath of the Wild.
But I'm pretty sure they're the same producers, because I know a few video games work hand in hand. I believe Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda all work really close hand in hand. One, because they're all in Smash together, so like, all the Smash companies work well together because they have to work together. So I feel like it's kind of asinine to bitch about graphics.
I don't care that, like, it's similar in the concept, but I just think saying that an open world area with trees and grass, and then, like, for someone to say that, oh my god, hey, it reminds me of this, hey, that's whatever. I have no issue with that. But, like, literally my entire Facebook and Twitter is just Legend of Zelda fans being like, ugh, how dare you copy Legend of Zelda? And I'm just like, oh my god, like, grass and trees. Next thing you know, they'll walk outside and be like, ugh, God is cheating and copying off of Legend of Zelda. Like,
so the thing, I forgot what I was going to say.
Mr. Beast is copying from Legend of Zelda. He's planting trees, trying to make his own open world game. Actually, there's one thing I do want to talk about. Pokemon Snap.
Oh yeah, we're not going to mention Pokemon Snap, at least I'm not. I'm literally just going to wait for it to go down to like $30-$40 from local retailers or local game stores and just buy it. I'm not going to waste my money.
I think it looked nice, but I don't have the nostalgia factor enough to get it.
I did. I 100% did. When I was a kid, I played the first one for hours over and over. So I will 100% buy this, but I'm not going to pay more than $40 for it.
Oh, yeah. No. Like, if someone has it and brings it over, I'll play with them. But
oh, yeah. You can borrow it after I beat it.
It's one of those things of, I played as a kid too. I did the whole star chart thing where you had to, like, wait for the stars to align perfectly to get the picture of Mew. It was Mew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated it.
And then you had to, like, surfing Pikachu.
My favorite was the Mew when you had to hit and use like bubbles, and then Mew would come next to the camera, and that's the only time you could get a good picture of Mew.
Oh man, like, I just thought it was a really unique thing, but it's just, to me, I'm like, I think Nintendo's a little over the top, where they're just like, everything's a $60 game to them.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, well, what is this? You're playing Pogs. You know, you have a disc, and you gotta shake the Wiimote. Or the Switch mode, the nunchuck, whatever, and you gotta, like, hit this Pog. Well, that's probably going to be like a $5-$10 game. We want $60 for it.
Accurate. Like, there's a new RPG game. Me and him like an anime called ReZero, and it just released a Switch version for it. And I would still pay like $40 or $50. That game's like $60 to $70. That's ridiculous.
Jesus. Nintendo's ridiculous.
I hate Nintendo.
But so many people defend Nintendo, and I just don't understand why. Like, why do you defend them? It doesn't make sense. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Nintendo. I like their products. I love my Switch. I've been grinding on Bravely Default 2 since yesterday, and it's a wonderful game, but there's some terrible practices they have.
Oh, straight up, since 2015, Nintendo sucks ass. Their game content went down, their releasing content went down. I went on this whole spiel on my girlfriend that I think it was every 3 years they would release a Zelda video game news and a trailer and something in 3 years. And then in between 2011, when Skyward Sword came out, and 2017, when Breath of the Wild came out, there was like 6 years when it was just a bunch of like filler games, like bunch of remakes.
And they do ports all the time.
Oh god, so don't get me started on that. That's literally why I'm going to GameStop, is just to get a bunch of Switch ports, because I don't have a bunch of games like.
And they're going after people who are, like, porting and emulating games, and it's like half these games are old. And they're not ever going to remake.
Like Devil May Cry. So the one thing I don't understand is why the Switch is porting Devil May Cry 1 to 3. I'm waiting for them to release the fifth one completely as a new game, since you have 1 through 3.
Oh, man.
Oh, did you see the Ninja Gaiden they released? Like the really old Ninja Gaiden series?
Oh my god. No, I was going through the Switch market the other day, and I was like, ooh, that looks nice. That looks nice. And I was like, wait, what the? I was like, Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, they have Resident Evil 4 and 6 on there now. My girlfriend just bought 6, and she was looking at 4 yesterday.
See, I'm not going to get it, because I'm going to wait for the Resident Evil 4 remake on PS5.
Yeah, because it's probably going to come, because they like remaking. See, video game companies that aren't Nintendo like remaking actual games. Nintendo's like, you like this game? Here's the cookie cutter copy. Literally, with every Zelda game, every Mario game. Like, there was a Mario. It was Mario's 3D World, Bowser's Fury. Or Bowser's Furry. I don't know which one it was. But the Mario's 3D World was literally the 3DS game. So once again, they're like, let's go take this old 3DS game and bring it out and make it fucking 2021.
Oh man. Well, I just really hope that they do a good job with that Arceus. And one of the biggest complaints I've seen that is actually driving me up a wall is everyone is saying, not everyone, it's really only a couple people, but that it's Let's Go 2.0. And I'm like, that is so dumb. Like, I get the concept because you're throwing a ball, but here's the thing. If you remember the Celebi movie, and if you remember some lore and the Pokemon things, a lot of the stuff is that you could just capture Pokemon without have to battle them. Like, you could battle them, but there was a lot of, just capturing the Pokemon in general. Oh. And like I said, I have a lot of hope. I hope it succeeds, because if they do, this means that they will go out of their way to try and make different games.
I really feel like they're doing a lot for the Arceus game, and they're really changing a lot of their formula, especially how you can capture things before you fight them. I'm going to be a pussy and hide and throw my balls at everything. Not going to
supposedly, because someone posted an article about already that supposedly you're supposed to like follow the Pokemon, learn them, sneak up on them, learn how they grow. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, I'm totally for it. So that way you can capture them the correct way. But anyways, that's it for our first episode. Thank you for listening, everyone, and have a great day.